Commissioner Bratton addressed the topic of my security detail earlier today. I'm very comfortable with what Commissioner Bratton said, and I refer you to his comments. Thank you very much.
Assess the job, Pastor, being done by the new mayor of New York City, Mayor de Blasio.
Well, I think Mayor de Blasio is experiencing what you would call the learning curve. Things look one way when you're on the outside, and they're different once you get on the inside. And so when it comes to some of the issues, particularly the issues around schools, I'm not so sure where he really sits, because I do believe that in his mind he fully understands every child needs an education. Now, when you talk about making a distinction between charter schools and regular public schools, which I do not do, I call them all education centers. And because they're all education centers, there ought to be some similarities in them in terms of how they are educating kids. Now, for me personally, when you talk about shutting down the charter schools, if they are the best performing schools, my position would be, let's learn from them rather than tear them down and say that we're not going to have these charter schools, especially if you have them located in places where you have extra space that you're not going to utilize anyway.
That's what a zero tax zone is all about. No sales tax, no property tax.
I'm tired of listening to the fairy tale that everything is just great when it's just the opposite.
Pastor Flake, I'd like for you to assess the governor's race. On the Democratic side, there's Governor Andrew Cuomo, someone you've supported in the past. On the Republican side, Rob Astorino, the county executive of Westchester.
And the race for governor, I'm definitely going to stay with the governor that I have, because I do believe that his mind and the things that he believes in, especially when you deal with one of the most critical issues that is facing African American people, is housing, especially since we've gone through this season where many people have lost housing. You've had the storm, different situations have occurred. I do believe that he gives us the best chance of being able to make it possible for people to have home ownership. When I started building homes, he was building on the east side of New York. I was building out here. And I think we both had the same idea. And our idea when we sat down with Mayor Koch was that it was important for people to understand that a home is a valuable asset. It is something worth having. And when we started building homes then, we became friends. We've been friends ever since.
We are the poster child for most of the good things that have happened in big cities.
I close this way, Pastor Flake. You were very tight with the former mayor of New York, Michael Bloomberg.
Correct.
My understanding, you guys used to have breakfast together and so on.
Periodically, we did. Yes.
Periodically. Mm-hmm. How will history judge Bloomberg?
I think at the end of the day, when the whole record is opened and all the resources, not only that we know publicly, but all the resources that he put out of his pocket and out of his company for the betterment of the city as a whole, I think they will have to put him high on the list of mayors in this city for the degree of his accomplishments, because they are things that you see the value in them, and you see that in most instances he did not create much of a stir when he was creating them. And they will be things that are long-lasting. They will be here forever. And I think that no one can take that away from him.